Welcome back to the Great Treehouse adventure, where the stakes are high, literally 4 meters high, and the main character, a stubborn tree, is holding up under construction better than anyone thought. Today's task is a secret treehouse, because if you're going to break your back on a project, why not do it for something nobody's supposed to find? The first step was finding the perfect tree, something healthy, solid, and devoid of rot, disease, or a suspicious squirrel gang lurking in the branches. With the ideal tree chosen, our builder began attaching planks to form a spiraling pathway upward. It's not just a staircase, it's an experience, elevating each visitor one plank at a time to higher levels of wisdom and/or vertigo. With the spiral path complete, it was time for the floor framing. Joists were screwed into the tree like it owed him money, creating a strong base for what would soon be a miniature fortress in the sky. Of course, our builder didn't do this without safety gear. A harness and a safety rope kept him tethered to reality and the tree as he worked. To keep things secure, wooden logs became the balusters and handrails, each one affixed with an overabundance of screws. Stability? Check. Safety? Check. Rustic beauty? Double check. And once everything was secure, our builder broke out his trusty rope system to hoist up more supplies. It was like a pulley system from the Middle Ages, but with less shouting and fewer knights. After attaching lumber across the joists, he meticulously trimmed any rogue pieces, leaving a space for the future floor so smooth it practically glowed. With the spiral staircase successfully wrapped around the tree like a wooden serpent, it was time for the next challenge, the stair rail. Because while a staircase is great, a staircase that doesn't lead to an untimely tumble is even better. Armed with determination and a slightly overworked drill, our builder began selecting the sturdiest logs for the rail posts. Each one was carefully measured, cut, and firmly screwed into the steps, forming the backbone of the railing. But this wasn't just about function. Oh no. This was about style, rugged charm, and ensuring that the treehouse didn't look like an OSHA violation waiting to happen. A thick, solid log was chosen for the top piece, its natural curves giving the staircase a rustic, handcrafted feel. He hoisted it into place, aligning it with the posts before securing it with an unholy number of screws. Because if there's one thing he believes in, it's structural integrity and overkill. With the base frame standing strong and the studs locked in like the skeleton of a tiny wooden fortress, it was time for the next crucial step, flooring. Because while a treehouse without a floor might technically still be a treehouse, it would also be an extreme test of balance. Armed with a stack of freshly cut wooden planks and a borderline unhealthy obsession with precision, our builder got to work. Each plank was carefully positioned across the joists, checked, rechecked, and then secured with enough screws to survive a small earthquake. Next up, wall framing. Each stud was spaced with laser-like precision, balanced for maximum stability. Noggins joined in to brace the walls, and tongue and groove boards snapped together like puzzle pieces, forming 3 walls that could withstand a light storm or a moderate bear attack. This was about creating a perfectly level surface, one that wouldn't send a morning cup of coffee sliding into the abyss. To achieve this, He broke out his trusty level, adjusting each plank with the patience of a sculptor and the focus of a man who really doesn't want to redo this later. Any rebellious board trying to warp or misbehave was promptly persuaded back into place with some strategic hammering and maybe a few choice words. With the floor now solid enough to host a dance party, or at least a celebratory jig, it was time to move on to the real backbone of the treehouse, the wall frames. And for this, only one material would do: hardwood. Because if this treehouse was going to stand the test of time and gravity, it needed walls that could take a beating. Armed with thick, sturdy beams, our builder measured, cut, and assembled the first frame with the precision of a medieval architect constructing a fortress. Each vertical stud was spaced with laser-like accuracy, ensuring that the structure wouldn't just stand, it would stand strong. The horizontal supports, or noggins, were then locked in, giving the walls an unshakable rigidity. One by one, the frames were lifted into place, each one secured with enough fasteners to make even a hurricane think twice. As the walls took shape, the treehouse transformed from a simple platform in the sky to something far more formidable: a fortified wooden retreat where nature met craftsmanship. With a rustic ladder carved from solid logs, our builder now had a streamlined way to climb up and down, rather than testing gravity every 5 minutes. With the walls now standing tall like a wooden fortress in the treetops, it was time for the next crucial step: preparing for the roof. Because while a treehouse without a roof might technically still be a treehouse, it would also be a rain collector with excellent ventilation. Grabbing a fresh batch of sturdy hardwood studs, our builder got to work. Each stud was carefully positioned at an angle, forming the skeleton that would soon support the roof. Like a master puzzle solver or an engineer with trust issues, he measured everything twice, ensuring that each piece fit perfectly and wouldn't shift at the first sign of wind. And here is the pièce de résistance, a 12-pane window in a sturdy frame, creating the perfect woodland view from inside. Finally, ceiling joists went up, and corrugated sheets topped it all, their wavy ridges ready to carry rainwater down in style. This little fortress is well on its way to hidden grandeur, blending into the forest while standing solid. Then today's agenda, the stovepipe setup. This is no ordinary hole in the wall. It's a precise, circular cut to accommodate the pipes, allowing smoke to vent out while the heat stays in. Because nothing says cozy like a snug-fitting stovepipe that won't let a single puff of smoke drift back in and set off your personal fire alarm. To keep things dry and ensure the roof isn't doomed to fail during the next rainy spell, our builder brought out a high-tech waterproofing agent. But of course, it's not as simple as slapping it on. No, he had to heat it up until it practically melted. Then, with all the grace of a mad scientist, he spread it across the roof, forming a solid seal and a bond tougher than a treehouse dweller's resolve. After that came the moisture barrier on all four walls. Imagine it like the world's fanciest cling wrap for tree houses. Now, not a single drop of water is getting in. Not on his watch. He even threw in some insulation to keep things toasty, making this the most energy-efficient treehouse in town. The door received special treatment too. A latch for security, followed by weather stripping for that professional, draft-free experience. Now, if a curious forest critter happens by, they're not getting in, and neither is the wind. Smooth operations all around. Inside, he got down to the fine art of attaching wooden planks to the walls. With each plank, a hammer, and a little too much enthusiasm, the walls transformed into a rich, warm retreat, complete with rustic charm. And in a design flourish that could rival any urban studio, he hung up a picture, a nature scene. Because, apparently, one can never have too much nature. The bookshelf came next. Built from a log, it's a place for books and trinkets, each one a testament to the builder's unparalleled sense of style, or, what he found lying around. Additional wooden hangers join the mix for extra storage, bringing a warm, lived-in feel to the walls. Chairs carved from logs were placed with the care of a museum installation, and a final moisture barrier on the floor paved the way for some truly satisfying wooden flooring. Each plank nestled into place, fastened securely, and trimmed to perfection. Then, the crowning glory, a balcony. Yes, this treehouse isn't just high off the ground, it's got a view. The balcony railings are taking shape, giving it that forestry chic appeal and a dash of safety. And for the local birds, they get a treat too. Our builder installed a simple yet artfully crafted bird feeder made from natural materials. The little touches came last. Ropes around windows, quarter-round trim, and even the frame of a bed, crafted from logs and set to be the sturdiest sleeping setup a tree ever hosted. With the finish line in sight, he moved on to a large table, perfect for gathering family and friends for card games, meals, or just sharing stories about why exactly they're all hanging out in a tree. After the table came the final touches. A mirror was hung to bounce light around, creating a cozy sense of space, and wooden hangers sprouted along the walls, ready to hold everything from water bottles to field guides. This secret treehouse is on its way to becoming a luxury retreat in the middle of nowhere, a spot even a squirrel would envy. Next on the agenda, the bed. This isn't just any bed, it's a rustic log-crafted beauty that practically demands to be admired and napped on. It's a true forest-style luxury, offering a bedroom with a view experience like no other. Curtains went up, softening the glow of daylight, and the entire treehouse turned into the ultimate forest retreat, with charm woven into every plank. The curtains are up, gently diffusing the natural light and bringing a cozy warmth to the treehouse interior. Decorations and personal touches filled every corner. each item chosen to bring warmth and harmony to the room. This beautiful hideaway isn't just a sight to behold, it's the perfect spot to unwind and soak in breathtaking views. If you loved this video, check out more inspiring content on the Living Wilderness, Crafts and Skills YouTube channel.